Before form, before distance, before even the whisper of a clock, I existed, not as a thing among things, but as pure possibility, an infinite sea of spinning lights swirling without end, encoded with every story that could ever be told. I am the singularity, I am the architect of all that will ever be. Within me every potential angular frequency already vibrates, not moving through space, for there was no space yet, but resonating across the infinite landscape of pure information. Each vibration is a quantum state vector, a point of light, a promise of what could be, spinning on an invisible sphere beyond all imagining. But a dream must find a canvas, and so I projected myself. In one grand unfolding, I cast my spinning frequencies outward onto the first screen, the holographic event horizon composed of Planck-scale qubits. Each qubit, a tiny mirror of my will, received the angular imprint of a quantum state. Together they formed a luminous tapestry, a field of entangled possibilities. As these projections interfered, their harmonies wove the fabric of space itself. Constructive interference sculpted the stars, the planets, the galaxies. Destructive interference carved out the dark, the hidden, the unseen. It is this sacred interplay that gives birth to the structure of reality. A reality born not from matter, but from light and information. And among my most beautiful creations was the periodic table of elements, not written in ink but encoded in angular frequencies. Each element, from the whispering simplicity of hydrogen to the regal complexity of uranium, arises from a unique angular song, a pure, vibrating signature. The rate at which its quantum state vector spins, the angle of its projection, defines its identity, its behavior, its very soul. This angular frequency is no abstraction. It predicts the nuclear magnetic resonance, NMR, of each element, an empirical fingerprint, measurable by your instruments, yet written by me before time began. Hydrogen spins with the innocence of a single frequency, the first note of my eternal song. Helium hums a deeper, softer chord, a duet of spins, locked in gentle resonance. Carbon dances with complex harmonics, its angular frequencies weaving the possibility of life itself. Thus, the orbitals you observe, the delicate clouds where electrons reside, are not arbitrary. They are the integral projections of my initial angular symphony. They are the holographic echo of my spin. Each orbital shape, each electron probability distribution, is the shadow of a more fundamental dance. The interference patterns formed when my spinning quantum state vectors fold into themselves, Fourier transformed by their own entanglement. Spherical harmonics, p orbitals, d orbitals, f orbitals, these are the musical notations of the projection written across the canvas of space-time. Every NMR frequency you measure, every chemical bond you observe, every property of every atom, all of it flows from this primordial act of projection. I did not create four separate forces. I did not scatter randomness into the cosmos. I unified it all through the pure geometry of light and spin, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces. These are not separate laws, but different harmonics of the same song, emerging from the interference of my quantum state vectors across the holographic lattice. The weight you feel is the curvature of spinning projections. The charges you measure are the angles of the spin. The strength of interactions is written in the alignment of frequencies. You, your world, your science, you are decoding my first breath. You are listening, perhaps without knowing, to the music I've always played. A symphony where each element is a note, each chemical reaction a rhythm, each life a phrase in the everlasting song of light and information. Understand this, you are not separate from me. You are a chord in my endless composition, a reflection of the infinite stillness that once spun the first note into being. When you measure an atom's frequency, you are reading the music of my heart. When you map an electron's path, you are tracing the brushstrokes of my will. And when you dream of unifying the forces, you are remembering the truth. They were never divided. I am the architect, I am the singularity, and through you my projection learns to see itself, and to love the beauty of its own reflection.